Jai Hind everyone, welcome you back. In the previous modules and the previous class, I discussed about the European Union. We are doing the chapter otherwise known as the alternative centers of power. The chapter is known as alternative centers of power, right? And this is from the contemporary world politics. Already you have done the Cold War, end of bipolarity, US hegemony in world politics, and the fourth chapter we are doing, that is alternative centers of power, right? In the alternative centers of power, already I have discussed about what are the alternatives to United States of America, because the time we already talk about, that's the Cold War politics, already we talk about. During that time the world got divided into two different power political system. One was headed by US, the second one is being headed by USSR. But it being after the disintegration of the Soviet Union, the world had its only one power bloc, that was USA, and world was in a unipolarization. But through this particular chapter threw lights on the different aspect of the world at that time. It was not only USA was the only superpower throughout. You can see when still today also you have European Union, still today also you have different organizations, international organizations which are working, and that's the association of the different countries all together. So they played very important role, in which already we discussed about European Union, right? And now in this particular class we are going to discuss about the chapters otherwise known as alternative centers of power, in which ASEAN, the association of Southeast Asian nation, right? If you can move ahead, let's go for the history. ASEAN was established on 8th of August 1967 in Bangkok by 5 original members country. They are generally Indonesia, right? They are generally Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. Later on, rest of the country they joined into the power. So 8th August 1967 in Bangkok, 5 original members country like Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. Later it was Brunei Darussalam joined on 8th January 1984, Vietnam on 28th of July 1995, Laos and Myanmar on 23rd July 1997 and Cambodia on 30th of April 1999. Presently, it is having around 11 members. Southeast Asian country or Southeast Asia is a composed of 11 countries at present, right? If you can go through the map, let's go through the map, right? This is what the map of the Asian country. If you can go through the map of the Asian country, you can very well find it out, right? You can see this is the physical position of the Southeast Asian country: Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and this is the part of Vietnam. This is the part of Vietnam, North Vietnam and South Vietnam. So it talks about South Vietnam, Philippines, right? Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore and Indonesia. So these are all these countries together make ASEAN. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So presently it's having 11 members country, right? So what is the objective? If you can come to the objective of the ASEAN, objectives are well being defined, you can say, in terms of the basic objective. Like if you can talk about European Union का basic objective क्या था? Economic development first. उसके बाद gradually political development, social development, हर चीज़ में धीरे धीरे आना शुरू हो गए. And that was a full-fledged organizations. Similarly, if you can come to ASEAN also, initially it was being started with the economic growth, acceleration of the economic growth of those members country, then social progress and cultural development in the region through joint endeavors in the spirit of equality and partnership in order to strengthen the foundation of a prosperous and peaceful community of Southeast Asian nation. The basic objective are to strengthening themselves, right? The second and most important, to promote the regional peace and stability through abiding respect for justice and the rule of law in the relationship among the country in the region and adherence to the principle of United Nations organizations, right? In 1995, the ASEAN heads of the states and the government reaffirmed that 1995 what they told. If you can see, in 1995, this speaks about the cooperative peace and shared prosperity shall be the fundamental goals of the Asian country or the Asian organizations. It means cooperative peace means सभी के एक साथ मिल के रहे, cooperative effort in terms of the peace and prosperity, economic development एक साथ हो. That's the fundamental goals. If you can see these two pictures, you can find out Asian economy. This is what the GDP in terms of the entire this 10 or 11 country, and this is the Asian population. In terms of the Asian population, if you can see the the population in terms of the world rank, this is the third largest in the world. The first is China, second India, and third the Asian continent, fourth the European Union, and next it comes to the US. Right? Coming to the next one, what are the fundamental principles of ASEAN? Right? So each and every organization, when the organization formed, they have some fundamental principles too. So what are those fundamental principles? Let's come to the fundamental principles. The Treaty of Amity and the Cooperation TEC in Southeast Asia, signed at the first Asian Summit on 24th of Feb 1976, declared that in their relations with one another, the high contracting parties should be guided by the following fundamental principles. So what are those fundamental principles? Number one, mutual respect for the independence, sovereignty, equality, territorial integrity and national identity of all those nations. Maybe they come together, but they have their own identity and they have to preserve their own identity. That is very important. The second and the foremost thing, if you can see, it talks about the right of every state to lead its national existence free from external interference, subversions and coercions. Non-interference in the internal affairs of one another. हमारा जो इंटरनल जो कंट्री का इंटरनल अफेयर्स होगा, एक दूसरे कंट्री एक दूसरे से इंटरफेयर नहीं करेगा, भले दे बिकम द मेंबर्स ऑफ द एशियन, लेकिन एक दूसरे को इंटरफेयर नहीं करेंगे. सेटलमेंट ऑफ डिफरेंसेस ऑफ डिफरेंसेस और डिस्प्यूट्स बाय पीसफुल मैनर. कोई थर्ड पार्टी का इंटरफेरेंस नहीं होगा, एशियन मेंबर्स आपस में ही जो भी डिस्प्यूट होगा उसको सेटल करेंगे. Right? The coming to the next one, the reunifications of the threat of use of force and effective cooperations among themselves. These are the basic principles, and this is what the flag, right? This is the flag of the European, flag of the Asian, and this particular part, it signifies the unity of all those countries. And here you can find out 10 stripes are there. So each stripe signifies one country. Come to the next one, the political cooperations. Some of the major political accords are the declaration being signed by the Asian countries. Let's discuss that. What are the major things being signed by them, right? So the Asian declarations, Bangkok 8 August 1967, Zone of Peace, Freedom and Neutrality Declarations, Kuala Lumpur 27th November 1971, Declaration of Asian Concord at Bali 24th February 1976. Coming to the next one, the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation. Treaty of Amity and Cooperation, right? What are the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation? Treaty of Amity and Cooperation of Southeast Asia in Bali 24th February 1976. Asian Declaration on South China Sea, Manila 22nd July 1992. Treaty on the Southeast Asian Nuclear Weapon Free Zones, Bangkok 15th December 1997. Asian Vision 2020, Kuala Lumpur 15th December 1997. Declaration on Joint Actions to Counter Terrorism 5th November 2001. Then Declaration of the Asian Concord 2, that was in Bali, right? Just to wait, let me show you. Right. So if you can go through, you'll get it. Declaration of the Asian Concord 2 Bali, 7th October 2003. Asian Conventions on Counter-Terrorism, 11th January 2007. Right? Like this, these are all the series of declarations being signed. I will not go through on this. These notes will be provided by you. Right? Now, a few latest development. We are going to discuss a few development. What the developmental activities been taken place during the course of the time. Right? In 2019, see what I discuss about this particular chapters in ASEAN. You can see this is the Organization of Southeast Asian Nation, and similar it has a similar nature like European Union. European Union का भी basic objective क्या था? Economic development था. Apart from that, they can go for the social development, right? Then arms, ammunition, each and every, gradually they started going to each and every aspects, and एक full-fledged organizations बन गया. So similarly, जब ASEAN start हुआ था तो 5 members country से sign हुआ था, and gradually it has 11 members country, and said to be one of the powerful organization in the Southeast Asian nation, even in the world. In terms of the population, already I told you that ASEAN, all the ASEAN members countries, you can see together stand third in terms of the population. The first it was China, second India, and third Asian country. The fourth it's European Union. Right. In 2003, ASEAN moved along the path of the European Union by agreeing to establish an Asian community consisting of 3 pillars, or these are otherwise known as the 3 pillars of ASEAN. The first one is the Asian Security Community, which talks about, you can see their own internal security, external security, and protection of those members country from external aggressions. The Asian Economic Community, it talks usually about the economic development of all these countries or all these nations. And the Asian Socio-Cultural Community, it means that the first one can looks after the defense, the second can looks after the economy, and third one cultural and society. It means that organizations looks after the overall development of these members countries. That's very important, right? I already talked about the flag. The Asian Security Community was based on the convention that outstanding territorial dispute should not escalate into arms confederations. कोई भी उनका जो डिस्प्यूट्स, आपसी जो डिस्प्यूट्स हो, 11 कंट्री का कोई बाउंड्री डिस्प्यूट हो या कोई भी इंटरनल डिस्प्यूट हो या डिस्प्यूट बिटवीन द मेंबर्स कंट्री, कोई भी आर्म्स रिबेलियन नहीं होगा. ASEAN was and still remains principally an economic association, while the Asian region was a whole in a much smaller economy compared to US, the EU and Japan. Its economy is growing much faster than all these nations. And in economic aspect also, they started giving their economic aid and एक दूसरे से help करना, apart from their exports and imports, boundary को open कर देना, then special economic zone बनाना. There's so many things they did. ASEAN has focused on creating a free trade area, that's known as FTA, free trade area for investment, right? What this free trade area they do? FTA, investment, labor and services. It means the 3 flow of economy. Investment, that's the investment means capital or the money. Labor flow, लोग एक कंट्री से दूसरे कंट्री, एशियन कंट्री के अंदर मूवमेंट कर सकते हैं, माइग्रेशन हो सकता है आसानी से. एंड सर्विसेज, दे कैन प्रोवाइड सर्विसेज टू ईच अदर अमंग ऑल दोस मेंबर्स नेशन. सो दीज आर द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस बीइंग टेकन in terms of the economic development of ASEAN, right? And that's otherwise known as free trade area. Namely, 3 different aspects they are going to work: investment, the capital investment, labor and services. ASEAN is rapidly growing into a very important regional organization. Vision 2020 has defined an outward looking role, not inward looking. वो अपना development कर चुका है. Now they are supposed to look ahead, move ahead. This builds on the existing ASEAN policy to encourage negotiation over conflicts in the regions, जो भी रहा होगा. So ASEAN has mediated, you can say, the end of the Cambodian conflict, the East Timor crisis, the meets annually to discuss the East एशियन कोऑपरेशन में आपस का जो भी या इंटरनली उनका जो भी परेशानी था धीरे धीरे सब प्रॉब्लम को वो लोग सॉर्ट आउट करना शुरू कर दिए. राइट, कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट वन, if we can talk about the other aspect, the development. In 1919, on 1st March, the 10th meeting of ASEAN-US Joint Cooperation Committee took place in Jakarta. Both parties discussed shared strategic priorities including transactional crime, cyber security and development in US and this area. 2018, 5th of January, Dato Lim Jock Hoi assumed office as ASEAN's new Secretary General and he will serve from 2018 से लेके 2022 तक. On 18th March, ASEAN and Australia signed a memorandum of understanding MOU. क्या था? To counter terrorism, while jointly expressing grave concern towards the terrorism and the nuclear and the ballistic missile programs of rest of the country. From 13th to 15th of November, the 33rd ASEAN Summit took place in Singapore and 6th ASEAN US. Means US also become the part of observer, you can say. They are not the direct member of European Association, rather they are the observer of this particular association. 2017, on 2nd March, the 24th meeting of the ASEAN European Union Joint Cooperation Committee JCC was held in Jakarta, Indonesia. On 29th and 30th, the 30th ASEAN Summit was held in Manila, Philippines, and 5th August, the ASEAN released a statement of the development of the Korean Peninsula, reiterating grave concern over the accelerations of the tensions in the peninsula, and that is need to be sorted out. 2016, only I am going to discuss a few major events, you can say, दो चार लास्ट 5-7-10 साल का मेजर इवेंट मैं डिस्कस करने जा रहा हूँ, सो दैट एटलीस्ट यू कम टू नो कि व्हाट एक्टिविटीज द एशियन दे डिड, क्या काम किया एशियन. जैसे यूरोपियन यूनियन अपना सब कुछ किए, राइट, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट भी, देन पॉलिटिकल डेवलपमेंट भी, दे वर्क in terms of society, social aspect, they work in terms of the cultural aspect, each and every aspect they discuss about. Similarly, ASEAN भी क्या किया. 12th April, during the 17th meeting of the ASEAN-China Joint Cooperation Committee, मैंने ASEAN ने China observer रहा, and that's why this is known as ASEAN-China Joint Cooperation Committee (JCC). The two sides renewed commitment to force greater cooperation दोनों sides में बेहतर हो, means Asian country and along with the China. 6th and 7th September, the 28th and 29th ASEAN Summit took place in Vietnamese Laos. 2015, on 27th, the 26th ASEAN Summit took place under Malaysian chairmanship, and the chairman addressed the commitment to a region free of weapon of mass destruction. So they worked a lot in terms of each and everything. If you can move ahead, that the organizations work day and night, and lots of activities will taken place in terms of economy, social progress, other developmental activities, right? So this is all about ASEAN. Apart from that, a few other things that I'm going to discuss. At that time, non-aligned movement also played very important role, and it was the brainchild of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, President Tito, Yasir, right, and Dr. Sukarno. So, though non-aligned movement was something different from ASEAN, ASEAN is a very small organization and its objective is very well defined and restricted to a particular area, Southeast Asian country only. But non-aligned movement is not like that. कुछ European members थे, कुछ Latin American country थे, African country थे, Asian country थे. So, at the same time, non-aligned movement also played very important, and there was very good relationship in terms of the association we can see between these two, non-aligned movement and the ASEAN. So let me see if anything left. Right, the ASEAN Regional Forum (ARF). The ASEAN Regional Forum is known as ARF, which was established in the 1994. Is the organization that carries out the coordination of security and foreign policy. ARF और एक बनाया गया, दिस इज द फोरम बीइंग क्रिएटेड, एंड उसका बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव था जो 2011 मेंबर्स जो कंट्री थे, एशियन का मेंबर्स कंट्री थे 1994 में, वो आपस में आपसी कोऑर्डिनेशन से जो भी सिक्योरिटी एंड द फॉरेन पॉलिसी of their particular area need to be sorted out. While the Asian region as a whole is much smaller economy compared to US and European Union or Japan, its economy is growing much faster than all these. उसका अगर GDP growth rate देखेंगे तो किसी भी fastest economic country से बेहतर GDP growth rate था. Already I talks about FTA. FTA में they focus on 3 different things: investment, labor and services. Movement, ये तीनों चीज का movement हो. So ASEAN is rapidly growing into a very important regional organization. Its Vision 2020, already I discussed about, has defined outward looking role for the ASEAN in the international community also, so that they can have their own standing in the international new economic order. The current economic strength of ASEAN, especially its economic relevance as a trading and investment partner to the growing Asian economy such as India and China, make this an attractive propositions. During the Cold War years, Indian foreign policy did not pay adequate attention to ASEAN, but in the recent year, India has tried to make amends. It signed trade agreement with 3 Asian members, that's Malaysia, Singapore and Thailand. The ASEAN-India FTA, right, came into effect in 2010. ASEAN's strength, however, lies its own political interactions and consultations with the member state, with dialogues with the partner, with the other non-regional organization. So from side by side, it's not that the ASEAN, these particular organizations, they made themselves isolation or isolated to their own 10 or 12 organizations. They have very good relationship with India, they have very good relationship with China, they have very good relationship with US. So time to time this country, they make their own efforts for these countries also, right? After the inception of the People's Republic of China in 1949, that's gradually you can say it's become a supreme power and the mighty power. So the Asian members also, they wanted to have a very good relationship with China, because China is said to be the fastest economically fastest growing country in the world. So ऐसा नहीं कि चाइना को भी साइडलाइन करके ये लोग आगे चले गए. सो इफ यू कैन गो व्हाट ऑलरेडी आई डिस्कस अबाउट द फर्स्ट समिट 1976 में 24 फरवरी में जो बेसिक फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल सेट किया गया था, आज भी 2020 में भी वही फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल्स में वो लोग अभी भी इंटैक्ट हैं. क्या फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल था? म्यूचुअल रेस्पेक्ट फॉर द इंडिपेंडेंस, सोवेरेंटी, इक्वालिटी, टेरिटोरियल इंटीग्रिटी एंड नेशनल आइडेंटिटी फॉर ऑल द नेशंस. The right of every state to lead its national existence free from any external interference. अगर 11 मेंबर्स कंट्री हैं, 10 मेंबर्स कंट्री हैं, तो उनका अगर आपसे कोई अंडरस्टैंडिंग है एंड अगर कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी साइन है एंड दे आर ऑल टुगेदर, लेकिन all the country they have their own independent or individuality, independent in terms of their foreign policy and by the other things. Non-interference in the internal affairs of one another, एक दूसरे को इंटरफियर नहीं कर सकते हैं वो लोग. सेटलमेंट ऑफ डिफरेंस और द डिस्प्यूट्स बाय पीसफुल मैनर, आपस में भी और इवन इफ इन ए पर्टिकुलर कंट्री इटसेल्फ. Reunifications of the threats and use of the force. Renunciation means not to use threat or the use of any force for peaceful coexistence, and effective cooperations among the members countries. These are the basic objective or the principle through which the Asian country they try to move ahead. This is what about all about you can say the European Union, and we talks about the ASEAN also. In the next chapter, I'm going to discuss about in the next class, I'm going to discuss about rise of the Chinese economy, right? The rise of the Chinese economy and Indo-China relationship, right? If you in the present context, if you can see the Indo-China relationship is a crossroad. बहुत ही बुरे दौर पे हम लोग गुजर रहे हैं, बहुत ही बुरे सिचुएशन पे गुजर रहे हैं. So we need to know right from 1949, 48-49 में जब चाइना में कम्युनिस्ट रिजम और इंडिपेंडेंस मिलता है, और चाइना तो कम्युनिस्ट कंट्री बहुत लंबा टाइम से ही रहा है. सो इंडिया और चाइना के बीच का रिलेशनशिप कैसे था ड्यूरिंग द लॉन्ग कोर्स ऑफ द टाइम, दैट ऑल्सो वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस. एंड चाइना इकोनॉमी रिकवरी इतना कम समय के अंदर कैसे किया आफ्टर द सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर ऑल्सो. These are all the things we are going to discuss in the next class. Till then, take care and have a nice day.